Alabama will compete on balance beam while Georgia and LSU are on a bye in this rotation. Let's go downstairs. Jen Hildreth is with Suzanne Yochlin of Georgia.
All right, Suzanne, little disappointment on beam, but you guys have one event left, one of your best events. What are you going to say to pump your team up?
Well, I think if we feel like it's close and it's within our range, if we, need a 49-4, 49-5, something reasonable on floor to win, the team will probably do the best floor routines of their lives. If they feel it's unattainable, who knows? They won't have that extra effort if they feel like they can't win. Georgia doesn't want to settle for second, so it just depends on where Alabama is after they do beam and how close we are at that point.
Laurie, we heard a couple of ifs creeping in to Suzanne Yochlin's confidence there. What's going on? I mean, obviously Alabama has a big lead right now, but they go to the balance beam.
This is a pivotal point for both teams in this competition. If Alabama hits, the pressure is really on Georgia. If they make some mistakes, then the door is open and Georgia could capitalize.
So the job, very simply for Alabama, is to count 5 good, solid beam routines and stay out in front and force Georgia to play catch-up from the floor exercise in their last rotation. Alexa Martinez, senior for Alabama.
Handspring layout, solid routine.
Pressure is on each and every one of the athletes for both Alabama and Georgia right now. Well, again, they count 5 out of 6. Little wobble there by Alexa Martinez. So they can afford to give away one, but a second fall or major deduction would be, well, we won't say fatal. This is not life and death, but it is the SEC championship.
Ideally, they'd like to hit 6 because that builds momentum. When you have a break in the middle of your lineup, the pressure is added to the rest of the athletes. Oh. Alexa nailing that dismount. A great start-off routine for Bama.
Well, she's done her job on the balance beam with a 9.85. Not only did the job, but got a nice score, and Sarah Patterson comes over to tell her so. Now we go to Orley Szmuch on floor exercise for Florida, and they are right now slightly ahead of LSU in that battle for third that we heard Didi Bro refer to.
And in a good position going into floor. One of their better events here. Orley opening with a double pike and a big smile. This is where she can really show off her personality.
Oh, and she's got plenty of it to show. The O show for Florida.
Front layout, clean. You know, Florida's had its ups and downs this year. Finally, they have a healthy team, and I said earlier, you never count them out when it comes to an SEC championships. This is a program that knows how to peak when it's important.
Well, they came in here with a very definite possibility of creating an upset situation for both Georgia and Alabama. It has not quite materialized, but they're still within striking distance, and they can stay there with performances like this.
Oh, yeah. Great job.
Orley Szmuch for Florida wins the hearts of crowds everywhere she goes, including here tonight in Birmingham, Alabama. 9.900 for the freshman star. And a huge hug from her coach.
Orley fell on her first event bars, and that put her out of the all-around contention. But she has come back so strong on beam and floor. That's a team player.
Kristi Boyte for Auburn.
Handspring front pike with a half. Nice job. Just struggled on that landing. Remember, as a freshman, she was one of the top vaulters in the country. Now Auburn needs 5 more vaults like that.
Too bad they had a tough couple of first rotations, or they'd be in the thick of this thing too. Here's Jessie, who is now a senior, but she came in on the heels of that Kentucky '96 team that was so good.
It feels great. It's what I've been waiting for, and I think I came to Kentucky with those hopes of turning this into a, Kentucky team, not just an individual, and, make a name for Kentucky. And I see that this year, and I hope that we can do it.
For years, Kentucky's been riding on the laurels of one of the best gymnasts in collegiate gymnastics, Jenny Hansen. And this co-captain, Jessie, one of her major goals was to make this a team program, to bring the spotlight back on the team.
Well, she certainly has done that, or has helped do that, as by virtually everyone's standards, this is the best Kentucky team ever, even though people remember that 96 squad.
This is Jessie's best event. She was an all-around performer as a freshman until she tore her ACL, but she's kept up her bars. Great job.
Jessie Lamb finishing up her evening on the uneven parallel bars. Congratulations, and a 9.825 score. Very nice job indeed by Jessie Lamb.
She told me she misses competing in the all-around. She really misses competing on the floor, but what a phenomenal performance for Kentucky on this event.
Kentucky continues to impress here at Bartow Arena, but there's still a championship to be. One of them can go, and that just means another one has to count. We return now to Florida's Hilary Thompson.
I think I heard the door open for Georgia, and they know it.
Well, Georgia left the door open for Alabama on balance beam, so they've just returned the favor, have the Tide. Florida's chances of coming away from the SEC championship with a title are slim, let's say, at this point. It really still is between Georgia and Alabama. But Florida, LSU, actually Kentucky, Auburn, they've all made their statements here at the SEC championships, and Hilary Thompson's looking to make another one.
It's her senior year. She's having a great season.
Another wonderful athlete to watch, and especially on floor exercise, which we've said it before, showcases their personality.
Double pike, not a problem.
Lands it solidly. Now she's just performing. Her final performance for in this SEC championship, with hopes of moving on to regionals and the NCAA finals, perhaps.
At this point in the season, it's not about endurance. Unless you've been injured and out of the training process, it's now all about presentation, doing those final details. The Gator Chomp from Hilary Thompson.
And her final tumbling pass. Nicely done.
Clean 2.5 front pike. That is a tough finish. Great job.
And a nice finish to the routine for the crowd and for the judges. So Hilary Thompson makes a statement with a 9.900 from those judges. A great way to end up her performance here at the SEC Championship.
She's really made a name in Florida gymnastics. She owns the school beam title and a great floor worker. 2 whips to a double pike. Good job.
Moving back now to Auburn and to sophomore Hannah Littrell from Decatur, Alabama.
And it does a little bit of a different style vault. It's called a Cuervo pike. She comes on forward, blocks with a half into a pike salto. Nice 10-0 start value vault.
And a 9.825 score as Jeff Thompson congratulates one of his young stars of the future. Kentucky's Julia Gore on the uneven parallel bars.
We mentioned this being Kentucky's best team in history. They've broken that 196 mark twice this season. But it seems like tonight they've been slightly affected by competing in this pressure cooker.
Well, Alabama's fans have provided a lot of the pressure.
And Julia gets the job done for herself. She's happy with that.
Yeah, this is kind of the Georgia end of the arena. Alabama on the far end where the balance beam is. Julia Gore, 9.825. So another member of Kentucky's best ever team puts up a nice score. And now this young woman is feeling the pressure. The pressure that has to come with being the last one to compete in the last apparatus with a title on the line. It's just that simple.
And 2 mistakes in front of her.
Yes.
But if anyone can do it, Andrea can.
Again, she has pretty much dominated the individual all-around competition here tonight. She's put up scores that no individual has been able to match. But now she stands on the backs of what her teammates have put up before her in terms of scores. They've had to count a 9.6 and a 9.7. She has to be nearly perfect to keep Alabama in this in the front runner's position in this meet.
That handspring layout, she nails it.
Yep.
Not a problem. Andree has worked so hard to come back from her injury. All that extra rehab has put her in the best shape of her life, and it is showing up bold and true tonight.
Well, the scores are one thing, but we're on kind of a pass-fail system right now for Alabama. Pickens stays on her feet.
Another difficult element, gaining valuable bonus points and showing some big-time risk under such high pressure.
If she stays on her feet, they have a chance of winning. If she does not, the chances go out the door, and she does. Yeah, and she knows it. Well, we've seen Corey Fritzinger say she loves pressure. Obviously, Andree Pickens has shown that she can respond to pressure. The Bama fans love it.
That was an amazing routine.
She put on a show with a 9.925 right in front of the biggest contingent of Alabama fans that are in the house.
The exclamation point on this routine was the dismount, E-level skill, double back, nails the landing. How often do you see that?
Beautifully done by Andree Pickens. So, Alabama puts up not a great, but a good enough score to stay in the lead here, with Georgia now going to floor exercise. Let's go downstairs.
All right, Sarah, you guys are all done. Have you done the job well enough?
Well, I think we gave a few tenths away on the last event, and this is an awesome meet, and the teams are doing incredible. So now we're just going to sit back and see what happens.
And that's your job. Hang on to your seats. There's a title on the line with Georgia going to the floor.